All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Who to look for at the Combine in Indianapolis this week. And, of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue you're going to find. We're also brought to you by Marin Auto Glass, 415-883-3030. MarinAutoGlass.com on the web. Underdog Fantasy, we're brought to you by them as well. And we're brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. Give Anthony Catania a call at 831-521-5264 and ValleyHillRoofing.net, 209-481-6851. We are also brought to you by Aura, and we'll tell you a little bit about them in a matter of minutes. But who do you look for this week at the Combine? All right, a couple things. One thing to remember is the 40s, the 40-yard dash, which is the star event at the Combine. If you just look at the top 40 times from the wide receivers, and you look at the names on that list: John Ross, Henry Ruggs III, Marquise Goodwin, Tyquan Thornton, J.J. Nelson, Jacoby Ford, Darius Hayward-Bay, Velus Jones Jr., Paris Campbell, Andy Isabella, Curtis Samuel, Calvin Austin III, Will Fuller, Trey Palmer, Danny Gray. You know what these guys all have in common? They're not very good. Of the 25 wide receivers that have the fastest times, 16 of them are either busts, trending towards being busts, or it's just too early to tell. The lesson that we get from this is don't get caught up too much in these 40 times. Just because somebody has the best 40 time doesn't mean they're the best receiver. I mean, of this list of the guys with the 25 best of the 25 receivers who have the best 40 times, the only guys at all that really are any good would be McCole Hardman, who's okay, DK Metcalf, Brandon Cooks, young Bo Melton. That's about it. The rest of the guys can't play dead, or they're just really young. Velus Jones Jr. is a pretty good player. And there's some guys who can. Henry Ruggs, I think, was a really good player until he got drunk, crashed into a woman, killed her and her dog, and now he's incarcerated. But overall, I would say that running the 40 is a little overrated. But who do you watch for this week in Indianapolis? All right, I'm going to give you a few names. One, there's a couple guys that you should watch for, but 3 or 4 guys here that you should watch for if they work out, but odds are they're not going to. One is Jaquan Burton, the wide receiver from Florida Atlantic. You're talking about a 46-inch vert, very good speed, good size, 11.5 in the broad jump. I don't think he's going to be there. Tyler Harrell from Louisville through Miami, former Alabama receiver. Supposedly at one point ran 4.19 in his 40, but I'm not sure if he's going to be in Indianapolis. And then Malik Neighbors from LSU, they're saying may not work out in Indy. He's a tremendous athlete. And Cooper DeJean for the cornerback safety from Iowa, who they're saying may run sub 4.3 at 210 pounds. But they're saying that he may not work out in Indy, that he may hold off till his pro day. So, all right, who do you want to look for in this event in Indy? I'm going to give you a few guys. One is the Penn State defensive end, Chop Robinson, who supposedly has been looking amazing in his pre-combine training. He benches 400 pounds. He ran 4.47 in the 40 last season, but they're saying that he's going to work out incredibly well. His 4.22 short shuttle, they say, is something to watch for. What does he do in this combine? Micah Parsons ran a 4.40 short shuttle, and Chop Robinson at 6'3", 255, they're saying runs a 4.22 short shuttle. So I'm really eager to see Chop Robinson, who is, a very good defensive end at Penn State. Another guy I'm eager to see is Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo, 6 feet, 195 pounds. This guy had 4 picks in a game, including 2 pick sixes in one game. He's strong, too. He had 21 reps on the bench on campus. He ran in the 4.3s last spring. He's a major talent with elite burst. He's a great player. So I'm looking for Quinyon Mitchell to see what he does. Another guy that I'm looking for is Byron Murphy from Texas. That's Byron Murphy the second, 6'1", 308 pounds. Super strong, super explosive. They're saying he may run maybe as fast as sub 4.8 at 310 pounds. That's going to be cooking. That's something to watch. Another guy to watch for is Peyton Wilson, the NC State linebacker. This guy was a standout lacrosse player who, in high school was a state championship wrestler. He's coming off an amazing year. He won the Bolitnikoff Award. He also won the Bednarik Award. He ran 4.49 on campus, 4.21 in the pro agility shuttle last summer. He benches 390 with a 35.5-inch vertical and a 9-foot 8.5-inch broad. So we're talking about a crazy athlete, Peyton Wilson, the linebacker from NC State. Couple other guys that I really want to watch. I want to see what Marvin Harrison runs. Marvin Harrison's the best wide receiver in the draft, son of the future Hall of Fame wide receiver, or the son of the Hall of Fame wide receiver. He benches 400 pounds. He's got 20. He's done as many as 20 reps of 225. I mean, that is a ton. And they're saying he's going to be sub 4.4. He's a top 5 lock in the draft, but look for him, Marvin Harrison. A couple other guys that I'll be looking for at positions of need for the 49ers. Kingsley Sumatea, the offensive tackle from BYU. He's 6'6", 325. BYU coaches are claiming that he's more athletic than Blake Freeland, who ran a 4.98 40 and had a 37-inch vertical last year in Indy. So, Kingsley Sumatea, they say he's faster than most of the BYU linebackers. He's a weight room freak. They're saying he could run sub 4.8 at 325 pounds. So that's interesting. If he runs sub 4.8, he's probably going to be a first-round draft choice. And then Chris Jenkins, who was atop the Bruce Feldman Freaks list this year, the son of the same name, Chris Jenkins, who played for Carolina, 307-pound defensive tackle. Jim Harbaugh calls him the mutant. He's got a 34-inch vertical. He had 32 reps at 225. He had a 4.33 shuttle. I mean, the guy's unbelievable athlete, one of the best athletes in all of college football. I'm eager to see how he works out in Indy. A couple other guys that I want to see: Brian Thomas, the junior wide receiver from LSU, 6'4", 205, had an amazing year this year, 17 touchdowns. They say he's going to run in the 4.3s and a vertical of over 38 inches. That's going to be an interesting guy to watch. Trevin Wallace, the linebacker from Kentucky, who's 6'2", 245 pounds. He was a high school track star, and he broke a 44-year-old school record with his long jump. He won the state weightlifting title. He power cleans 335 pounds. They had him on the GPS at 22 miles an hour, almost a 39-inch vertical. I'm really eager to see Trevin Wallace and what he looks like in this thing. Malachi Corley, who's kind of like a little bit like a Deebo Samuel, a 5'11", 220-pound wide receiver from the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, 2-star recruit out of high school, but he's a Deebo clone right now. And he led the nation in yards after the catch and missed tackles in 2022. They've clocked him as fast as 4.43. Really eager to see what Malachi Corley runs like. Ricky Pearsall, another wide receiver from Florida, 6'1", 193 pounds. This kid started his career at Arizona State and then transferred. And what a season he had this year. He was outstanding. They're saying he could run sub 4.4 and top 40-inch vertical, and he was a very productive player at Florida this year. So Ricky Pearsall is somebody definitely to watch in the workouts in Indy. The wide receiver from Florida. A couple other guys that I'm really going to keep my eye on. One is the jumbo wide receiver from Florida State, Johnny Wilson, who's they list at 6'7", 240. So he sounds like a tight end. 36-inch arms, 10.25-inch hands, 8'10" standing reach, 35.5-inch vertical. They clocked him at 21 miles an hour on the GPS. Really eager to see Johnny Wilson, and if Johnny Wilson works out well at 240 pounds. Brock Bowers, who's a Napa kid who went to Georgia. In the past, this kid probably would have went to Cal or Stanford, but he went to Georgia, 6'4", 240, 4.4 speed, 36-inch vertical. They're saying he may work out in Athens and not in Indy, but he's a guy to watch. I'm eager to see Jerry Rice's kid. He's 6'3", 215 pounds, started at Colorado, transferred to SC, and what a year he had. And he's strong. He had 17 reps last year of 225. They clocked him at 23 miles an hour on the GPS, 38-inch vertical, 1.43 10-yard split. If Jerry's kid works out really well, he could be a second-round pick. I mean, he is really, really interesting player to watch. A couple more. Braden Fisk, the defensive tackle from Florida State. He's 6'3", 295, and transferred for Western Michigan. Relentless player, though, and they say his workout numbers are going to be really fun to watch. So I'm eager to see Braden Fisk. He was such a good player in college. And then two more. Xavier Legette, the wide receiver from South Carolina. He's 6'2", almost 230 pounds. They clocked him at 22.3 miles per hour on the GPS. And I'm eager to see what his 40 looks like and how he does in the workout numbers. And then if there's one quarterback to keep your eye on, it's Joe Milton, the quarterback from Tennessee. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions over the last 2 seasons. He started at Michigan. He transferred to Tennessee. This kid can throw the ball 90 yards in the air. 90 yards in the air for Joe Milton. So I'm really eager to see what he looks like throwing the ball for the scouts in Indy. So that, there's always somebody who stands out in the combine. Joe Milton might be that star this year, just because of his freakish ability to work out and just have amazing numbers. And now let's hear a word from our sponsor. Have you ever typed your name on the internet and seen all of your private information is online? Are you tired of receiving tons of spam calls from random numbers? Are you receiving more and more of these as time has gone on? Well, that's where Aura, the sponsor of today's show, can really help you out. Data brokers sell your information to scammers and spammers and anyone else who may want to target you. Your full name, your email, your home address, all your records, your health records, who your relatives are. It's all out there. That's why I've been using Aura. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use the information to help them access my social media accounts, my bank accounts, or any other sensitive information. Aura also does so much more to protect me and my family from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up. And best of all, I get everything at one affordable price. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to the link in the description to start your 2-week free trial. And thanks to Aura for being one of the sponsors of The Krug Show. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.